Hello there, a very warm welcome to my YouTube this evening, and we're taking a look at the lost station of Brent. Yes, South Brent had its own train station, sadly no longer, but we'll take a look at the nostalgic look back at how Brent Station looked and what became of it. Sit tight. We're now just coming up towards Brent, and again you can see the main A38 just down there. And looking back on the lower side,
returns us to those glorious summer days of our youth when the sun always shone and carefree holidays were easily available, or so it seems. In rural Devon, on the southern border of Dartmoor, the Great Western's West of England main line spawned a number of branch lines, of which that to Kingsbridge, at the head of the Salcombe River estuary, was perhaps the best known. The branch connected with the main line at Brent, and we open with a view of number 5558, which has just come up from the coast with the train and is running round.
we're here in South Brent, and as you can see, the main line is coming down here, and just up there on the right hand side would have been the cutting which would take the line down to Avonwick and on down to Kingsbridge eventually. And this is actually looking down on what would have been Brent Station. The only thing that remains is the goods shed just down there on the left hand side, and just where that sign is on the side of the car park, on the side of the track, was the signal box, which was sadly removed some years ago. It had been hoped to retain it as a point of historical interest, but Network Rail and so on decided in their infinite wisdom that it was too close to the mainline track. So we're looking down on what was the bustling station of Brent. As you can see here, the main platform, the signal box on the left, and then fast forward a few years to 2021, and sadly now it's all vanished. But the signal box remained, and that in itself sadly disappeared some years back. Health and safety, too close to the track, so it had to go. Very, very sad. And here's a really interesting look at the centre of Brent Station back in the day. And fast forward again, and we're looking down at the only remaining building is the goods shed on the left hand side. And this is again looking down in the same direction at the signal box, the goods yard on the left hand side, and the main station platform. Looking over onto the main line with the goods shed just in the background there, and the location of the signal box, the main signal box, just to the left there. And as we look down the road, down Station Road, you can see the main ticket office, and this too sadly was demolished. As you can see now, looking down Station Road, it's just an empty space. Quite amazing. There's a close-up of the signal box. Quite a substantial building, and very sad that it was demolished. And here it is, we're looking at this is 1971, when you can see not much has developed on the left hand side and the goods shed stands on its own. Back to a bustling main station. I would say we're probably looking at back in the 1950s here. Amazing. Consider this was a bustling station. Some many years ago, back in the 40s, 50s and 1960s until 63 or thereabouts, and it started to, well, certainly the branch line to Kingsbridge stopped operating then. Looking down Station Road, and we're just looking at the ticket office on the left and the main bridge that would have taken you over to the centre platform at Brent Station. And of course now looking similar position, everything's gone and it's just the main line that races through here now. This is the goods shed that remained, well, and still remains to this very day. Quite a stunning looking Grade 2 listed building. An interesting look back at the branch line just off to the right there to Kingsbridge, and here you can see the old branch line as it crosses underneath the old A38 and then heads down towards Avonwick. And here's a little map of Avonwick, and the station Avonwick is just down on the lower edge of this map, but you can see it crossing the road. This is the branch line from South Brent coming up towards Avonwick at this point. This is Avonwick Bridge, and you can see the cutting here for the former Primrose line. Sadly, this is an extremely busy road, a very hazardous occupation. Looking down on what can only be the former rail track. And another of the many, well, one of the other 48 bridges which took the track underneath the main road here. Quite interesting to see this toll house over on the right hand side here, which was built around about 1840, so the train line would have come in shortly after that. And we're just walking down a section of the road just to take a look back at the bridge that goes over the main, what was the main Plymouth Road. And here's a train approaching that bridge that we were standing on just a short while ago. And we're just taking a look back at one of the 48 bridges that cross the River Avon, and this is where the train track ran. Back at Brent now, taking a look at the goods yard and the goods shed. This would probably be back in the early 1960s. And this is Brent main station, just probably slightly earlier, back in the 1950s I would hazard a guess. And as you can see, it was an absolute hive of activity and a very, very, very busy station. There is talk of the station being reopened, so we'll await that with interest. I really hope you found this interesting. It's been great for me to come over to South Brent and have a look around at the old station and how it looked in its heyday. I'll just say take the greatest of care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. All the very best. Cheers for now.